Pregame.com.
Welcome back to pregame.tv. Sunday NFL action. The Philadelphia Eagles head to Mile High, Denver, to play the Broncos. And boy, talk about Mile High. This offense for Denver, it's pretty special. Peyton's he never had this many weapons at Indianapolis. I mean, even in the heyday, when you had Edgar and James and, Reggie Wayne, do you remember him having as many weapons as he's got right now?
No, I'll tell you what. And when you look at Philadelphia, after they lost Macklin, that was a big blow. But when they go in there, first half, opening Monday night game, and just blow the doors off of the Washington Redskins, everybody's like, whoa, Chip Kelly, the guru. Yeah. And then after 2 straight setbacks at home, fans are like, where's the mojo?
Chip Kelly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually going to talk about that because, first off, I'm not going to pick a side here. I'm actually looking at the total. Now, this total came out at 58, and normally speaking, and you talk to a lot of sharps around town, and I know you're buddies with one of the bigger bettors in town, but it was almost a given. Anytime you saw a total in the NFL come out in the 50s, the sharps would blindly pound the under on it because it just never gets there.
Right.
We're in a different era now, and I think you got to look at these games a little bit differently. And this Denver offense, I'm looking at a total of 58, and then it went to, I'm seeing 57s pop up today on the board because people are still thinking in that old school mentality and betting the under. You can't do that anymore. Denver is scoring points. They can't be stopped. You look at what Denver's done so far. They scored 49 against Baltimore, 41 against the Giants, 37 Monday night against Oakland, and the 37 against Oakland is because that game was never in doubt at any point. At least the first 2 games, Denver was still in a game for a half. They were never in a game on Monday. That is probably the easiest non-sweat 16-point win you'll see in the NFL. It was fluky how it even got to the final score that it got to. But Denver was pretty much in shutdown mode the fourth quarter of that game. I see them here against Philadelphia. For me to hit this total, in my mind, I see no problem for Denver topping the 40 mark in this game.
I agree with you. I mean,
and if they do, all I got to do is get 17 out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, and again, Denver will, like you said, they'll take the foot off the gas when they're cruising and they're up by 3-4 touchdowns, just going through. And again, the defense will play hard, but they'll have some backups in. They'll get some players in there. And, I can't go against Denver. I do have a good buddy, my pal Nathan Gray over at Venetian and Palazzo. His wife is a Philly fan. He's a Denver fan. They're going to the game. And she was sky high after the Eagles beat the Redskins going, oh, I can't wait to go to the game. Now she doesn't even want to go.
It's going to be ugly. You know what? This is my free pick. Let's go ahead and make it official. All right, the reason why I like this over so much is I don't care what Philly does, they're not going to be able to stop the Denver offense. Denver's going to get me their share of points that I need for this over. I'm looking at this game from the Philadelphia side. Can Philly get me enough points to get me the over in this game? I say they can, and I'll tell you why. You look at what happened to Philly in the first 3 weeks. Ken talked about it. That first game on Monday Night Football, they came out there flinging the ball all over the place. They ran how many plays in the first half? They ran how many plays in the first quarter? Everybody was buying into the Chip Kelly saga. They were happy with it. Well, what happened was it was the first game of the season. If you know anything about the NFL, preseason football, the starters just don't play very long. They play a couple series in the first game, a little bit more in the second game. Third game is the dress rehearsal. They'll play to the half, maybe the start of the third quarter, and then they're out. Fourth game, they don't even basically get a cameo appearance. This team wasn't physically fit to run that offense for 4 quarters. They were out of gas in the second half of the game, and that offense didn't click. But they still put up 33 points because they had so much in the first half. Second game, what'd they do? They put up 30 points. They were a little bit better, but the defense gave up more points. That's why they lost to San Diego. The defense is getting tired out in the second half of these games because, one, the defense is not good to start with. They can't get off the field. Two, they're on the field more because if the offense is going at a quicker pace, that's going to put your defense back out there quicker, and they tire out. They were playing that second game on a Sunday following a Monday game, so it was a short week for them. Then in the third game, this is where I think gives us the value for the over. People are going to look and say, hey, they couldn't score any points against Kansas City. Well, they had everything going against them. One, they were facing Andy Reid, who knows Philadelphia better than anybody on the planet. And he had a bunch of ex-Philadelphia assistants on his staff. They were ready to play them. Plus, it was a Thursday, short week. Again, if this team's going to tire out and not be able to run that helter-skelter offense for 4 quarters, it's going to happen on a week where you only had 3 days rest. I think now they've had 10 days rest, and they're going to catch Denver coming off the short week. Philadelphia is going to have the foot buried to the pedal, and they're going to go for as hard and as long as they can go. They're going to get me the points I need for the over. And as far as Denver goes, Denver might be a little gas chasing this offense around. You saw them kind of shutting it down in the second half against Oakland, knowing what they were coming up against Philly this week. And let's talk about that Philly defense one more time. If they get gassed, now they've had 10 days to, rest and relax and get ready, but don't forget, they're going to be chasing this Denver offense in the altitude, and they're going to be on the field for more than the Denver defense. The Philly defense that's bad will tire out eventually in the second half in the altitude. That'll be more scores for Peyton Manning. I see this one going over. It's the new wave of the NFL. I can't go old school, and I'm as old school as it is when it comes to a lot of trends and history in the NFL. But this one, I'm coming new wave. This one goes over the total. I'm betting it over 57. And my projected score, I'll tell you how much I think it goes over 57, is I've got Denver winning this game 43-20, putting us over this, into the 60s easy, and it could actually get worse than that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it'll get worse. I think Philly may actually score more points. I think you're going to see a refocused Philadelphia offense, but I agree with you. I mean, I would only play the over, and it is as high a total as you're going to see in the NFL. All
right, there you have it. We only got one video left. It's Ken's pick. It's Sunday Night Football. It's the New England Patriots at the Atlanta Falcons. That's up next. Pregame.tv.